Yeah. Yeah, over there. Over there.
I have a question.
Hello?
He's pointing to you.
I'm pointing to you.
I have an issue. I have a friend that's a police officer in Chicago, and I noticed, you know, he's taken on the vision of, he works in Inglewood, and he calls it the jungle. But that's the name that the officers in that area have given it. But when I talk to him, he's taken on, I just want to be frank, his white officer's point of view of our community more so. And he has no understanding, like you say, connecting the dots.
Right.
He doesn't want to go back. Like you said, he wants to start right here where we are now.
Right.
And I have a problem trying to get through to him that this is what's going on.
Right. Yeah, well, I can't say, that's not a question. I mean, I can't say
I
anything
wanted him to
except,
come, but he had to work.
you know, I'm just saying that that's basically what it is, what, you know, what the problem is. I hope you, is this your friend?
Yes.
Get him the book.
I'm friend. I gave him one.
Okay.
I gave him one.
Okay. Who had a question? Right there.
The yellow jacket.
Yellow.
Our young adults and children are listening to music that is being produced, and it's called rap music. The impact that it's having on the children, how does that play a role in the demise in our group?
It's tremendous. Tell me how you can deny the connection. You have got children in our communities who have been untreated for intergenerational trauma, passed down from generation to generation. Let's just take the area of violence. They see violence. They are sometimes the victims of violence. Sometimes the people who are inflicting the violence don't even know that it's violent. You know, whipping is a slave term. Whipping. There are two major terms that come out of slavery that stay with us constantly. Whipping and nigger. Whipping. Not spanking, whipping. Give that a whipping. That's right out of the slave mentality. So you have kids who have seen nothing but violence, who are separated emotionally from reality, from any kind of positiveness in their lives. They are not listening. If they're listening to their parents, sometimes parents are not telling them the right things because parents don't even know themselves. Sometimes parents are the bigger problem, because sometimes those parents are 15 years older than the child. So if you get this child out here who's not listening to any, who is he listening to? He's listening to 50 Cent, he's listening to Lil Wayne, he's listening to, a whole slew of people telling him that I am a bad nigga, and I have been to jail, I've been shot 50 times, and I'm still standing, and I think that it's cool to bust a nigga's head to the white meat show. That's right out of the lyric. Okay? And this kid is sitting here, he's got access to, he has more access to a gun than he has to a book. Okay? So why is it that we think that it is implausible that there's any kind of association between him listening to this, and he admires this person more than he admires anybody else, and he's telling him to go out and bust a cap, or bust a whole bunch of caps. And when it happens, you say, well, there's no association between that and, how can you say that? We have a situation just recently where a 15-year-old girl went to a party with a bunch of guys and basically prostituted herself, brought her 7-year-old sister, her 7-year-old sister was gang raped. And by 7 guys. You say, okay, what is going on here? And then here comes, of all people, Ludacris. Ludacris comes out with Russell to have a, an awareness. We got to do something about this. Well, you know what it was? It was the devaluation of females, okay, that caused this. If you listen to the lyrics that Ludacris just constantly puts out, it's all about the dehumanization of females. It's almost always about the debasement of females, okay? And so he makes $1 billion or $100 million selling the record, and then they'll come out and make a $10,000 donation to solve the problem. So I mean, that's basically that's the way that the game goes. So that's what we're basically seeing here. So he starts a foundation. He gets Congressman Waters, Maxine Waters, gives her an award, and she comes out and defends him. I mean, so that's the kind of thing that we're doing. Give a black person an award, and boy, they'll and a financial contribution if you're in office. That's all you have to do. So that's the problem that we're dealing with. You have a question over here, Suburb?
Yes. Well, how do we actually deal with the debasement and also the lack of value and respect we have for each other? Like in a corporate arena, it's always just the black people competing against each other. It's always just us fighting against ourselves instead of working collectively to try to make it.
Disunity.
Right.
Disunity. I speak about that in the book, in the chapter on disunity. Just to show you how there is never an end to the stuff coming in. I was just told recently about a woman executive at General Motors who decided that she was going to fire all of the black advertising agencies working for General Motors. And her reason was essentially post-racialism. We don't need to do that anymore. We don't need to hire these black agencies anymore. It just keeps coming, But that's why we wrote the book. We have got to develop a coalition of like-minded people to speak out on these issues. Yeah, we do talk about corporate drive-bys. Yes.
I'd like to explain why I came today. When I saw the initial review in the Indigo, the idea came to me that if here's a person who's sort of explaining the secrets of how to get someone to buy something they might not want or need, what if we were to use that same kind of brain power to create an advertising campaign to sell something that we do need, which would be something like Liberation Institute, or in this case, Resolution Institute, so that Resolution Institute becomes something that when you see that, I want to be a part of that. Mm-hmm. That kind of I want to contribute to that. Yes. And in this way, the funding can happen for so many things. And the other thing on the background was out of ASCAC, which is the African Society for Classical Ancient Civilizations, I believe. In 1984, they created a panel and they came up with the need for 4 commissions. And this has never been created, but the idea is here.